Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another head-scratching episode of Insane Disappearances. Okay, now see, I'm creating this live video. Again, I was on earlier, but the sound was messed up, so I had to create a new one, so I apologize. So the ones that sent me a comment, just send it again, and I'll try to answer it as I go along. Okay, so like I said, once again, I apologize for that. But once again, I forgot to mention something, and what I forgot to mention in my video I just posted, where am I getting my shocking truth type answers from? That's what this video is for. But once again, I need everybody who's on my channel to open up their mind. Okay? I say this all the time because there's a lot of things going on in this world that we're not knowing about. And a lot of these things are on levels where we can't comprehend it because we're not aware of it. We've never been aware of it. So it's like a complete mystery to us as why. That's why we have archaeologists or those people from ancient aliens doing the things that they do, you know, because they want to find out the truth. And that's why I'm here. You know this. I'm here to bring the truth to you, especially if I know what the truth is. All right. Have you been in touch with David Politis? Great channel. You're a stellar individual. Thank you very much. Hello, my friend. Hey, how you doing? That's one of my, people. Oh, so you have a case for me? Well, go to my description box, and you can get my email from there, and just send me the information about the case. But to make it make it a little easier for you, it's all lowercase, meckdee@comcast.net. Okay? Hey, what's going on, bro? Chuck Warren. Hey, how you doing, man? Great to hear from you again. But I want to get right into it, guys, because this is very important. All right, Brown Door. Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna get right into it. Now, where am I getting my shocking information from, you ask? Okay. Once again, like I told you, I want you to open up your mind. All right? When I meditate, and most people probably don't know about this because they don't ever get to this level. But when I meditate, I want to open my mind to the cosmos. Open my mind to all of the things that we don't know about. So, I recently started getting a connection from my guardian angel. Yes, my guardian angel. I even know his name. His name is Peter. But I'm in connection with some other beings of that nature. And one of them is named Gabriel. And I've recently connected with him in a lot of areas. And there's a lot of information that I could tell you, but there's a lot of information you may not want to believe yet. There's a time for me to release this information, and now is that time. That is the reason why I'm having these deep thought moments with you guys, because he is giving me this information. Now you may say, "Oh, this guy's a crackpot. I knew something was weird about him because of what he talks about." Okay, there's a lot of things that people do that other people that can't understand. You got your psychics, and I do know of one psychic who is very good and on point. Okay. It might be better to send a new case through some kind of personal message. Okay, that kind of went a little fast. I'm sorry. I was trying to read it. It was pretty long. But this is a being from out there. Okay, he's also a guardian angel. And he's been giving me information. There's a lot of information that I will be revealing to you guys. And it is the exact truth. And I know this to be true. And you want to know why? Most people will probably ask me, here we go. Let me see. We shouldn't judge anyone. You're absolutely correct. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. But there are going to be some out there that may say, "Oh, I knew he was crazy." But that's impossible. You can't do stuff like that. Actually, you can. Okay. I called upon my guardian angel, and he told me his name. But I actually met him face to face in person when I was 17. I saw him come out of a portal. So that lets you know portals are real. This was a shimmering portal that looked like glowing spider webs that was just shimmering all over the place. and he literally came through this portal. I saw him with my eyes open. I was awake, and he looked at me. I could see everything. His curly black hair, strong facial features, big smile. He reached down at me. See, okay, forget all the haters. Oh yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. I don't worry about them. I worry about my true fans, which are you guys. So that's why I'm here doing this. I want you guys to know. You have to know. And there's a lot of information that's going to come out that has to be said. And this is very true facts. And it's going to get even more deeper as I go along. So stay tuned for that too. Stay tuned for that. But like I said, this is something that happens to me quite a few times. I'll meditate, I'll get some information. I even got some information about someone. Okay, positive mental attitude is your best weapon. Thank you. That's what I do. That's what I do. I even have some information. Let's see. A frog in a well cannot conceive of the ocean. Well said, Chuck. Okay. Have you read David Paulides' first books? I got at least. I got two of them. I think it's the Western U.S. and the Blue Book that has Jerry Adedera in it. The story about Jerry Adedera in it. Those are the only two I got. I want to get all of them because he has. You can actually buy the entire set for a certain price, but I haven't gotten that far yet. But I will get a chance to read those books. Okay, the powers that be hide anything that hold. You're never responsible for the truth. Okay. Oh, Bigfoot books. Oh, Bigfoot books. No, I haven't read those. Because they can be hard to get unless you go to like a public library. You can't like. Some people will say that. Okay, they sell his Bigfoot books in the library, but he can't get all the others. Obviously, that's relevant. But now I haven't read them. I guess I was always relying on the videos that I seen on TV, but since I started finding out about what videos are real and what videos aren't. What's going on, Matthew? How you doing? I kind of just relied on the documentaries I've seen about Bigfoot and the actual video footage of Bigfoot, like the guy that I know that he did that before he started missing 411. Yeah, I followed that part about him when he said that's what he did. I think he was like a 20-year veteran in that area, or at least he did it for a lot of years. He was like the president of that organization. But yeah, so anyway, to get to the point, like I said, there's a lot of information that I have received from him. And if there's any of you that got any questions, I will do the best I can to make sure you get the right answer. So that's why this is live, and that's why if you got any questions and you need them to be answered, I will answer them. So whenever you're ready. But the information that I was giving to you yesterday and tonight, let me see. Dave talks about a boy that went missing in a national park. Okay, there's so much of them coming up at one time. What is CERN trying to accomplish? What's your opinion on that? Okay, well, the best thing I could say. Oh, you mean the cave, like the M cave? Is that what you're talking about? Let me see. Raid that was in Mount Shasta. Okay, well, anyway, to answer the part about CERN. See, CERN is no different from the military when it comes to trying to create something that they really don't have control over, or they don't know what they're messing with. Because, let me see, I think Dogman could be a reason as well for missing people, just saying. Okay, now, well, first of all, let me get to that part about CERN. CERN is a company that is trying to create black holes so they can find out how the universe was created and all that stuff. Sometimes they got to realize that they're messing with things. Let me see, could be that it was where biohumans manufactured and happened to. Okay, no, but might be able to find out. Okay, Okay, now with CERN, like I said, if you ask me, they're messing with a technology that they really don't know how to control. They can understand it as much as they want, but you don't really know what that can really do. I think that has a lot to do with has a lot to do with these portals that seem to be popping up everywhere. You know, where they just open up, but you can't see them, so you walk right into it. But you got to know what you're looking at. You got to know, like what I mentioned before about the distortion of the environment around you. If it looks wavy or ripply, let me see. Love your channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I definitely will. That is your portal. Or if you're in your house, and you just happen to look in a certain area that's dark. I came in late. Did I miss the striptease? Seriously? This is about people who disappear in national parks, not a striptease. Unless you're talking about what I'm talking about, which is like a striptease. No, this is full truth. Now, getting back to the wormhole. If you see something open up, oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, but if you see like a light kind of just appear out of nowhere, like say on your wall or maybe near the bathroom, that's a portal. I was told that. Because a lot of people, like I said, if you don't know what you're looking at, you're not going to know what it is. You may think it's like maybe an orb or like the manifestation of a ghost or something like that. But what it really is a portal opening up inside your house or anywhere near you. Never looked at it like that before. Yeah. So if you have actually seen that, that's what that is. It is a portal trying to open up. Now, if it disappears, then it's almost like, let's just say, okay, this is what happened to me. This happened to me twice. I was walking upstairs into my master bedroom, which is where I'm in now. Okay, I look right there on the wall near my bed, right above my headboard, and I saw an oval-shaped light. I uploaded some orbs last night. Okay, cool. But yeah, so it appeared right in that area, like say in the center. Okay, and it looked like an oval-shaped light. And I was looking at it dead on, and I blinked my eyes just to make sure it wasn't like some type of eye trickery. And it was actually there. So I took a couple steps towards it, and as soon as I did that, it closed. It just dissipated. Now, here's another one. Here's something that's connected to it. You asked me what's the deal with CERN. CERN is trying to do stuff like that. But these things happen to where these portals just pop up out of nowhere. CERN is searching into the unknown until the scary surprise that could put an end to all. Okay, this is what I'm saying about how the sun gives us life and how we're not going away. Now, the only people that can really make us go anywhere would be man. Let's see, bigger. Sometimes they create another element. Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of like when it's like I told you before with how CERN is and how they create these. Sometimes it feels like there's somebody on the other end of that controlling it. So when we notice it, they see us noticing it and they shut it down. It's almost like they're in control of it. So if it's CERN, then they're the ones controlling it. But if they're not, it's some other type of intelligence that's controlling it on the other side. Or sometimes now if there is somebody in control of it, but at the same time, I mean I don't know if there is or not, but at the same time it could just be stuff that's happening where these wormholes just open up randomly everywhere. So yeah, but the thing about that is, like I said, when it comes to the truth, you have to know, even if the truth is so unbelievable, you can't help but question it. And that's understandable because we knew nothing about it. We weren't taught about it in schools. We didn't learn about it anyway. We heard about the mystery of it. You know, let's see, any UFOs on skinwalkers. I mean, info on skinwalkers. There are types of creatures from different levels. Okay? I'm going to go back to the Egyptian days. Think about the hieroglyphics on the walls. We need thumbs up on comments. I'm more concerned about these creatures than CERN. Okay, well, one thing at a time, folks. I know I say if any of y'all got any questions, I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities, but let's kind of just, do one at a time. All right. Now, the skinwalkers, they are certain creatures. Now, this is nuts. Oh, sorry about that, guys, man. It was saying unable to connect at this moment. Okay, so, like I was saying, there are certain creatures in different levels. Even though they say that these creatures are coming from the Skinwalker Ranch, if you look at the hieroglyphics on the Egyptian walls, you have those people that have the head of a cat and the body of a man. So it's the same with these creatures. Whatever is coming out of these Skinwalker Ranch, which a lot of it is, they say is like these creatures that can morph into other creatures, or humans that can morph into creatures like wolves and stuff like that. That also goes back to, the ancient, the Navajo tribe and the Indians. They believed in that kind of stuff, where they had animal spirits that they can actually form into from man to animal. Okay? Anubis is a dog man. He had the head of a dog, but I wouldn't call him a dog man. Like I said, they were species of animals that were like that. They were like, they were just like humans, but they were a type of species. Okay? That's my best description of that. They were a type of species. And this species were animal and man, together as one being. Okay? Had the head of an animal, but the body of a man, but they had the brain of shapeshifters, basically shapeshifters. Yes, basically shapeshifters. Okay? So, like I say, with the Navajo Indians or whatever tribe that believed in that ability, they was able to shapeshift into their, animal spirits. Let me see. Why don't humans have that ability? Because we never tried it before. We never learned anything about it. Knowledge is power. Knowledge gives you the ability to do all that, or we do, and any just have to adjust our vibrations. I mean, that's a pretty good assumption right there. But like I said, there's a lot of things that humans can do. We just don't know that we can, because the knowledge was never given to us. Just like how you go to school to learn things, and you soon become this big shot at a very big company because of what you study in school. If we studied these things, we would have the ability to do it. But also, we have to have the mind to do it as well, and the heart. Because let's just say, like, people who have the power to levitate things. If they have the power to levitate things, it's because they learned something about it, and they learned how to do it. Or maybe they already had that ability, they just didn't realize it. Because I can tell you, if you did something very strange when you was a little kid that you couldn't explain today, you may have a gift. It may be small, but it's a gift. Like, you got these psychics out there, and like I said before, people who can move things with their mind. And sometimes I think that these illusionists are some same kind of people, like, Chris Angel or even David Copperfield, how they can make things levitate or fly. They could be one of those kind of people that have that ability. Now, if you guys are ready for that, I hope so. But think about it. They put these labels in front of all these things, like illusionist or magician or all these other words they come up with to make you understand what it is. Bro, the amount of times that I've walked under a light and it's gone out. See? That's what I'm talking about. Or I touch something electric and it stops working. Exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, hold on. I'm about to get a little dark here because I got to run downstairs and get my my charger for my phone. Okay, that sounds like an excess of energy. Yes, exactly. That's an excess of energy. A lot of people also have to realize that we are energy, all of us. Okay? When you look at everything or who we are as humans, but trust me, if you really understand who we are, where we come from, what made us, you begin to realize that we are nothing but energy. It takes energy for us to do all the things that we can do. Just like how they say, and look, we send an electrical pulse from our brain to our arm so it can move. Or it takes energy for us to push a box or push a cart or whatever. Okay? Pure energy from the source. Right. The source would be the creator. Okay? Because we are all connected to one single energy. And that is the energy of the person or being that created all of what we see. Okay? Like I said, everything around us is energy. The things in our home itself, the clothes we wear on our bodies, the shoes we wear on our feet, the socks we wear on our feet, my glasses. Only if it's made from something that is from the earth. You see, I don't understand why all these paranormal forces would want to harm us. Well, okay, seems like a waste of their time. Okay. Now, like I said, there's certain things that I want to say because you're either ready or you're not ready for it. But as far as that goes, they have the ability to, well, to some creatures, we are food, okay? And they feed off of us. That's how they feed off of us. But there are some that aren't, like like vegetarians or animals that eat the grass, like cows and stuff. And then there's some that eat us. They feed off of us. And then there are some creatures that feed off of energy. And this goes back to how a lot of the people that disappear are found dead under mysterious circumstances. Okay? They don't have no reason for dying found on their body. Now let's go back to Henry McCabe, my favorite case, because I talk about him all the time. He was found dead under mysterious circumstances, and there was no sign of any trauma on his body. Yet you heard a growl in the background on that voicemail. So you would think the animal, you see, you can't lump them all into the same boat. There are good and bad of every species. You're right. Yeah, it's good and bad in every species. So you got your good ones and you got your bad ones. The good ones would be the ones who, like the bad ones would be the ones that they take you, they wipe your memory, and then you find out they did something to you. Okay, could have been a Bigfoot or a dog man. Yeah, that's one of the theories, but I doubt that. But like I said, you have the good ones and you got the bad ones. The bad ones are the ones that want to put stuff in your head to make you believe what they want you to believe, so you won't know exactly what happened to you. Now that stuff happens, and then there's the ones where they wipe your memory clean, which goes back to, Stephen S. Kubacki. His memory was wiped clean, and he had a typical alien abduction. He don't even know what happened to him, but he came back alive. So, but as far as the whole eating part, they have creatures who feed off of energy. They have creatures who feed off of human flesh, well, humans alone, and then you have the ones that don't. Okay. Okay. Did he tell you his name? Yes, he did. He did. And when you say his name, you mean the person that gives me the information. Well, yes, his name is Gabriel. So that's his name. That's the name of the being that I get this information from. Okay, but now I'm pretty sure you've heard. I talked about this before in my last video about the reptilian aliens that actually feed off of young. See what else is going growl like that? What's gonna growl like that? Nothing on this plane Okay? A growl like that would come from something, from some type of creature that we know nothing about. It wasn't a growl of a mountain lion. It wasn't a growl of a bear. It wasn't a growl of a dog or whatever. They said that that was a growl unlike any other growl they've ever heard. Okay, these are top-notch animal experts. They know them inside and out. Bigfoots are known to growl. It's more like a howl, though, not growl. I mean, they may do that, but when you hear them, you hear like a muffled like howl. Because there was if you remember a recording from back in the 90s of, this was back in back in the 90s, and the recording came from the Pacific Northwest, and they actually had a recording of a Bigfoot howling in the distance. And it sounded more like a howl than it would a growl. I'm not saying that they don't growl. I've never heard them growl before. I never heard a recording of a growl. They may grunt, but the call of their wild is more like a howl, though. But yeah, so like I said, you got those creatures who like I say, feed off of energy, which would be the reptilian aliens, and there are some that actually eat, humans. There was a story that I told you about that Derek Tyler told, where he said that when they found the Roswell ship, they went inside and there was this like a vat of blood filled with human body parts, and they said they were the men of the soldiers that was working that area. Now, I don't know how true that is, because I really believe that the information that I get has nothing to do with what they're talking about. So that would mean these so-called whistleblowers are being fed still a bunch of lies. They're just making them think that they're feeding us the truth, but they're really not. So if I tell you something that is so beyond what you would think it is, it's the truth. Anything that don't sound like you could believe it is probably true. So, and that's what I'm doing. So, but like I said, there are different types of, these creatures. There's some good and there's some bad. Okay, the good ones will be the ones like what happened to the lady that I interviewed 6 to 7, 8 months ago. She had an experience. Okay, is there a recording with Stephen's case? If there is, you're never gonna hear it, because it may be something that they don't want you to know about. Once again, they keep all the secrets. Has Gabriel told you anything about what happens to the missing people? Yes, he has. Now, I'm going to, let's see, we should study up on CERN. Everything about CERN spells trouble. That's true. But he has told me how these people disappear. One of the many main things is sometimes there's these accidents where portals just pop up, but you can't see them, and you just accidentally walk into them, and you get sent to another parallel Earth. No one has bothered to check if there have been cryptid activity in the area of McCabe. Well, yeah, you're right. You would have to really dig into that to see if there's any stories of that in that area, of these weird creatures that may be in that area. But I haven't heard anything else about it, because with him, that's, there's something going on. I know, but as far as what he said about that, like I said, one of them is portals, and they open up, and you just walk right in. They don't just open up due to control. They're there. There's these pockets, and they just walk right into them and they disappear. Now, in those other cases, let's talk about what happened with Jerry Adadero. Now, I asked him that question, and he said flat out, some things are better left unsaid. So obviously, whatever ate that boy, which is, I told you, I said it on my video when I posted it, that there was some kind of unknown creature that can devour the human body like that. From the looks of it, it looked like it was in one bite, like as if its mouth was wide enough for him to place the entire body of that boy in his mouth, bite down on the forehead, and leave nothing behind but the top of his skull. But he cleaned it out, brain matter and all. Okay? Something ate him. Yes! It wasn't no mountain lion. It wasn't no bear. Because think about it. If you read up on animals and how they feast, they don't devour the prey. They gnaw at it. In one tooth. Yeah, in one tooth. What case is this? This is the Jerry Atadero case. You know, from the Puda Canyon. You know, his father is Alan Atadero. And they showcased it in the Missing 411 movie, if you have it. So that little boy that's in the blue sweatpants and that sweater, that was him. That was Jerry Atadero. Right. Okay, so he didn't tell me what ate that boy, but it led me to believe that something did eat him, but it was what ate him is something that is not to be talked about. Obviously, he wouldn't even tell me, and I didn't want to try and ask him again because I knew I was going to get the same answer. But he flat out said things should be left unsaid. That's it. Okay, the top of his skull and his tooth were laid perfectly on top of a log that no one lion. Yeah. So the fact that no mountain lion is going to do that. Okay, mountain lions, bears, wolves, coyotes, leaves, pieces scattered all over. Exactly. These pieces scattered all over. And for that to be perfectly placed on top of a log, first the tooth, then, okay, plus his pants were inside out. Exactly. All of these characteristics in his case don't make any sense as far as a human doing it. Why would a human take their time to deliberately put a tooth on top of a log? Shoes were found looking new. Right. Putting the tooth on top of the log, then putting pine straw on top of that. Neatly. And the clothes were torn, but that's only because of the birds using pieces of the clothing for their nest. Okay? But there was no blood. There was no scratches. There was no tear marks in the sweater, because the animal, the lions and all that stuff, they always go for the gut, because that's where all the protein is. Okay, they get to that part first. They eat the guts and the stomach stuff and all that stuff. Then they work on everything else. But they gnaw at it. They don't eat it until there's nothing left but a tiny little tibia or one tooth or molar or the top of your cranium. They don't do that. They don't clean it to the point where it's gone. That never happens. The most that'll happen after they eat it is your body decays and you turn into nothing but bone. Okay? But something like this, to where, let's see, carnivores would leave pieces of clothes scattered about. Okay, yeah. But his clothes were completely intact. Okay? The only thing that was wrong with it was these holes in it, because the birds were pecking at it to use it for their nest. And there was no blood on the sweater. The sweatpants were turned inside out. So that means somebody tried to pull the pants off of him. For what reason, I don't know. A lot of people would try to say that they were molested before they were taken. But why would you do that and then leave nothing behind but a tooth, clean clothes, and shoes that was been in that area for 4 years, and it still looked like it just came off the showroom floor? That makes no sense. But the fact that the body was eaten down to the top of your cranium, something devoured him. Something literally just like in those cartoons where they take a piece of a chicken leg, put the whole thing in their mouth, and bite down, pull all the meat off the bone. You ain't got nothing left but the bone. That's kind of like what happened to Jerry Atadero. It's like they placed him in their mouth, bit down, and just sucked everything off of that bone. The only thing that was left was the cranium. Okay? And that's the only thing Alan Atadero has left of his son. That and the clothes and the shoes. But the thing is, what could have done something like that? If you look at any animal on this planet, no animal can do that or would do that. They don't devour the body. if you find something that an animal tried to eat, like say vultures, they peck at it and get all they need to get out of it, and then there's still something left of the animal. So yeah, that's the way they feed. That's how they live. Okay, but an animal that can do something like that, it ain't from this planet or from this realm or level or parallel Earth. Well, I want to say this is parallel. This is what I would think would be Earth 1, but like in a TV show. But it comes from another dimension, another level. Okay, so that would be, if I could answer. Let me see. Or someone works on logical traces to bring investigators. That's right. Yeah. CIA, aliens, Bigfoot, Dogman, hillbillies. They all have a part. Well, that's just speculation, really, because if they have a part in all this, knowing that hillbillies, they do, let me see, they do, like, hunt for food, the primitive way, but I really don't think they have anything to do with it, because this is a level of, feasting. Oh, my bad, man. No, don't disrespect. Yeah, no disrespect. But like I said, with this, it's more than just that. It really is. It's definitely something that something that we don't know nothing about. But to get that answer, I'm probably not ready to hear it yet, or you guys are not ready to hear it yet, which is the reason why he didn't say anything, and he still hasn't. But if he ever does, I would definitely tell you, because that truth has to get out there as well. But it has to come out at the right time, and obviously right now ain't the time, because I still haven't gotten that answer from him yet. But as far as all the other questions like CERN and everything, we could find out as much as we want about it, but there's only but so much that you're going to be able to get from it. Because even though CERN can be, I want to go back, I know there's all types of stuff out there. Oh, but anyway, they still have a certain type of control over that type of information. Yeah, they telling you they coming up with new experiments and new things that's happening, like the shooting of those tiny little particles, and they collide with each other and create a huge bang, like the Big Bang, But when they're messing with stuff like that and they don't really know what the heck they're doing, they know what they're doing because of what they learned. Okay, that's all they know. But it's like I said, you're only as intelligent as the knowledge received. So if that type of technology is made for information to get to you, but you haven't gotten it yet, let me see. Busy. But it hasn't got to you yet, so you don't have the intelligence to know what that technology can do and what it can really do. There's a lot of things I can tell you right now, but you gotta wait for that. But that's a technology they're messing with that they don't really know anything about. They really don't. Just like with time travel. Now that's a subject that might be a little, I don't know if you guys ready for that yet, but I can tell you right now, there is no such thing as time travel. There really isn't. All the stuff that you hear about over the ages, the word time travel was created by a name. And you think about the very first time travel movie was based off of a book that was written by somebody way back in the ages. Okay? The Time Machine. I love that movie. I love everything about time travel. But when he told me that time travel doesn't exist, I was like, wow. So all those things that the government claimed that they were doing, they never did it. Okay? There's a guy that was on YouTube talking about how he was in some kind of like project in the military. His father was a military man, so he was selected to become a part of a project where they travel through time. And he said he was at the Gettysburg Address as a kid, probably no more than 9 years old. He was dressed in these little blue jean outfit, Let me see. Gotta close up shop. Wish I could stay. Have fun, fellas. Oh man, it's too bad, man. Too bad. Well, see you next time. Okay, so they say he was standing in a certain way so he wouldn't look too inconspicuous. So he had one leg out, one leg in. He had his hands in his pocket. And he looked a certain way and all that stuff. Okay. But yeah, so him talking about that and having the photo, that could have been any kind of photo, you know. So, but when he told me there's no such thing as time travel, I was like, wow. So everything I know about time travel, what I heard from these scientists, which is basically all theory. But when you hear the government talk about it, they want you to believe that they were able to achieve that kind of stuff because they got all the technology. So yeah, they put all this stuff out there for you to believe, and you end up believing it because of the foul footage or the stories that these people tell on Coast to Coast AM. What really is a reality is dimensional travel. That is the universal way of traveling. Now, you look at all these creatures so he's a higher level being. Yes, he is. He's a higher level being. Got wings, a robe, everything. I saw him with my own two eyes, and he is huge. Okay, you ever hear those stories about those giants that lived on Easter Island, or the gods that they talk about in movies like Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief, where his father Prometheus was a god that practically reached the atmosphere right before you get into space. He was like tall. Gabriel is massive. He's wide and tall. Let me see. I might be wrong, but the way Einstein described time travel, the time traveler would have to move faster than the speed of light. Well, first of all, there's no such thing as time, number one, like I said in my last video. And to travel through time, there's hairy giants in the woods right now. Okay, well, that could be an assumption, you know. But as far as what Einstein said, he was a brilliant man. They say his brain matter was actually thicker than most humans. So he was able to take in even more information. So I'm not saying that he wasn't a genius. I'm not saying that. Oop, what's this? Oh, I haven't. Ooh, darn it. I forgot to tell my mom about that. Shoot. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to text her. Darn. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Yeah, he was a brilliant man. I'm not knocking that. But all of this stuff that he was getting, don't know where he got the whole time travel thing from, because at that time it was really just a theory that he postulated, which is true. But still, dimensional travel is time travel, but in a way that you can't really understand. It takes you from one point to another. Now, oh, sorry about that, guys. My mom had called. Yeah, it was a phone call. My mom had called because I forgot to tell her that I was, I told her I was going to the movie because, like I said, today's my birthday. So I wanted to go to the movies to see that new Thor Ragnarok movie. But I would have had to wait 2 hours to see it because it had already started by the time I got there. So I came home because I wanted to get this out there too. I wanted to, share with you guys the information that I'm receiving. So I'm back. So I apologize for that. But, yeah, time travel. That's what we were talking about. Dimensional travel is what the real travel is. Time travel is just a metaphor for, dimensional travel. Okay, time travel, once again, is a word and a story that someone created that, way back then. And here's my thing. Maybe, just maybe, they may have heard about dimensional travel, but they wanted to color it up a little bit, call it time travel. It probably sounded a lot better back in those days, and they created a big story that stood the test of time, which is why that movie Time Machine came out. And then after that movie came out, they did an update version sometime in early 2000. And, you got all these other movies that fancy, oh, well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And I had a very great birthday. Believe you me, I did. Okay, my favorite quote, Einstein is reality is merely an illusion, Albert. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Reality is an illusion. Because think about all the stuff that has been created. But who created this reality for us? Where did it start? I can tell you where it started. When everybody came over here on a boat to America through the New York Harbor. You know, I think it was, what did they call that boat? The Mayflower, I believe. I think one of them was called the Mayflower. I think. I'm not sure. I mean, I remember hearing that word or the name of that boat. But if it was the boat where a bunch of immigrants traveled over here from, I'm not sure. But I know when they came over here, let me see. Then there is a journey to the center of the earth. Oh, right. Yeah. Right. Now, that's another one that I can get into, but I don't know if y'all ready for that. I'll have to check with Gabriel to see if he wants me to talk about that, but we'll get into that at another time. This is that whole Earth thing. That's one that's going to really blow your mind, but like I said, I don't know if you're ready for that part yet. I'll have to check with him first before I give you this information. But like I said, dimensional travel is more of what traveling from one point to another in a way that is like time travel. That's the true way of doing it, because they have beings that can do that with just their mind. Okay, like these people who they say are demons, or what do you call them? Aliens, or whatever. Okay, when they look transparent to you, that's because they are in between realities, in between dimensions, ours and theirs. That's why they look transparent. Now, there are some that can cloak themselves to make them look transparent. I know that for a fact because a gray alien was in my kitchen one night when I came home. Because I have been watched. I told you guys, I think I told you guys before, I can't remember where, I think I told you guys on my channel. But yes, I did. I mentioned on one of my last videos where I had a experience while I was at work. Okay, so they have been watching me, and obviously they took me, and something happened, but I can't remember anything. Okay, that whole moment is completely gone. But he's working with me with that, so that I can try to remember everything. I had several teachers while I was in high school claim the core of Earth is hotter than the sun. Well, okay, see now with that, I don't know if you guys are ready for that yet, but this is about the sun. I probably should have mentioned that when I was talking about that the other night. But the sun really isn't as hot as they say it is. Yeah. So all that stuff you may have heard about, not true. It's not as hot as they say it is. It's hot, but it's not that hot. Think about it. How is it that hot if UFOs can actually sit in front of, directly in front of it and not melt? Now, he did tell me that they're made of a type of technology that we don't have, which is the reason why they can sustain that much heat and not melt or burn up or explode. But still, the sun is hot. Okay, I'm not saying it can't melt nothing, but it's not that hot. Now, what temperature they said is that, I'm not sure. I think I might have heard it years ago, but I can't remember. I would have to look that up. So I'll probably tell you this on another video. But yeah, the center of the earth, like I said, that's a subject that I want to get into, but I don't know if this is the right time. I may have to do that on a later video. But yeah, that's some stuff to talk about right there as far as the center of the earth. But the earth alone, then you'll get a bigger picture of what I'm talking about. So, and Gabriel will help me with that too. But as far as everything else, like time travel, there's no such thing as time travel. There is dimensional travel. Time travel is something that the government cooked up so that they can have a reason to say, okay, we did that. That's part of our technology. We have it. We can travel through time. Now, people will say, why haven't they televised that? First of all, they never even created it in the first place. There's no such thing as time travel. Now, they can dimensional travel because the aliens that they are actually in contact with, that they work with themselves, the one that gives them all that technology, They probably showed them how to do it. They probably even know how to do it. Or they accompany them when they open up these wormholes to get from one dimension to another. Now, they have said it. They have done that. You know, they have people that come on to Coast AM when Art Bell was doing it, saying how they were from another dimension. And they would explain how the South won the Revolutionary War, where certain parts of the world is actually country and not a city. You know, there was a lot of that stuff. So, but yeah, dimensional travel is what time travel is, but not in that sense, okay? Now, we don't have the technology to do that. We don't have the technology to do dimensional jumps. Only they do. The Greys, the aliens, the others, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, so that's what that's about. What we got here? Any being that has technology that could travel millions of light years is unimaginable to us. Exactly. That's my point. Okay, we're talking about a reality that is unknown to the human mind. Now, the ones that do know this information keep that information from us so that there will be some level of control. Think about it. If we were able to do all the things that I know that we can do, like all the people you hear about on all these other videos, how they can use their chi to create fires and stuff like that, like this Asian man who was able to focus his chi in order to heal people. He touched them on their body and their body jumps. That's how much energy he's putting into this person. Or he can focus his chi on a piece of balled up newspaper and create fire and heat it up to the point where it catches on fire. Okay? All these things are abilities that we are able to do, but we get blocked from all of this information because of what they don't want us to know. If we know these things, we wouldn't need them for anything. We could take care of ourselves. We don't need the government to do anything. We don't need them to protect us and do this and that and the other. And I don't even really think that we even have a president. I mean, what do we see after the camera gets shut off? We don't see nothing. We see them going from one place to another while the camera's on. But when they're not here, they're taking pictures of people being there. But what are they really doing? Nothing. They ain't done nothing since they've been in office. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. I don't want to get into that. But anyway. But yeah. That technology is unknown to us because we are not being taught that. The information about that has been lost to us for thousands of years. That is what Jesus Christ did, but still even hardcore Christians don't believe. Right. Okay. Now, see about Jesus Christ. Now, I don't like to tap into the whole religion thing with people's beliefs. But I just say it like this. I was watching Ancient Aliens. And they started talking about how they think that Jesus Christ could have been an alien. Now, judging on what you hear in the Bibles and in the stories and the movies about Jesus Christ, I'm not messing with that. I'm just telling you what they said. And when you look at the other ability that these other beings that you hear about had, like the giants, you know, and there is foul footage of these giants in the ground that have been buried from thousands of years ago. Some of the stuff that be on the internet you can believe, some of it you can't, but it depends on what Gabriel tells me. Now, there are some species of giants that were here. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Gabriel is giant. I was outside during the summer and I was meditating, doing my usual thing, you know, meditating in nature because it helps me connect with the earth and the universe and all that stuff. Being outside. He was walking down the street. He was fully clothed in his robe, sandals, the curly hair. I saw his face plain as day because the street lights was reflecting off of his body. So, he's walking, and I could see how tall he was. He literally cleared the street lights as far as how tall they are. Okay? And he walked towards my house and disappeared. So, let's put it to you like this here. Do you know anything about guardian angels? Anybody? Do you know what do you know about guardian angels? As far as what you've been told as a child, what you learned in Bible school, or just knowledge alone. Okay. Now, I told you, I saw my guardian angel. His name is Peter. He told me his name. And the energy that he puts out is incredible. And the same thing with Gabriel. His energy is intense. Okay. So, they have a lot of names. Anunnaki. God. Angels. A lot of names. Even their names alone. Because he told me that, well, I don't know if I should say that. That don't have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'll save that for a later date. But like I say, his name is Gabriel. But that's a whole nother story. But anyway, the whole point is, if you look at the hieroglyphics on the Egyptian walls, when they have these depictions or drawings or carvings of the Anunnaki, they have wings on their backs. They have thick beards, kind of like Jesus. Thick beard, and looking at the wings. Now, I'm not saying that Jesus had wings, but it's almost like you're getting the same information from that one visual. Okay? You got Anunnaki, and then you got that, angels. Okay? Then you got what Jesus looks like. The way they depicted their beard looked a lot like how Jesus' beard is. Now, through depictions of how Jesus looked, you saw the beard and everything. You saw all that stuff. So, naturally, okay, that's a good depiction of Jesus. And then you see the name Anunnaki, you got the wings on the back. So that's another representation of angels. So I'm thinking that could be what angels come from. And when I found out about Gabriel and Peter, I was like, you know what? And then he told me that some of them were one of the Anunnaki, but they had to leave here because they didn't want to start any type of wars with people that didn't want them there. They wanted to think for themselves. And they didn't want them there. So they didn't want to fight them. That's not what they're here to do. So they left. Okay? And they said the same thing about the Anunnaki. They came and they went. And they always said that they think they're going to return one day. That's a whole nother story too. So I'll wait until another time to say all that. But guys, if you have any more questions, you know how to find me. Comment on this video, and I will try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. Okay? But this information is very crucial. I had to get it out there about where I'm getting my information from. As you can see, I'm getting it from my higher source. He's a being of light, or a being of energy, because light is energy, so he's a being of energy. And everything that I tell you is the complete truth. I told you from the get-go, I do not promote any fabrication, stretched truths, half truths. Everything is completely true. I would not do the channel if I'm coming at you with a bunch of lies. And the best source of information when it comes to the truth is somebody of that nature. Okay? Because they have been around for thousands of years. They've seen a lot of things. He's seen a lot of things. Because he tells me that he could be everywhere and nowhere all at once. Everywhere and nowhere all at once. Okay? So that means his consciousness can create copies of himself. And I'm talking, it's like they're pulling him in all directions. But his consciousness goes with each and every one of them. There could be 100 of them. It could be 1,000 of them. One person like him for every human. But some of those beings actually have more than one charge. More than one person they'll look after. Okay? I'm just saying. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. It's getting late, and I'm glad I was able to answer some of your questions, even though they was coming in about a mile a minute. I'll try to answer as much as I can. But like I said, if you got any more questions, just hit me up with a comment. Let me see. Angelic beings can be in several places at the same time. Exactly. Right. He said to me personally, that he could be everywhere and nowhere all at once. And it depends on where his actual self is actually residing, but he can just send them out in all these directions to take care of the job that he is there to do. Because he is a guardian angel, just like mine. And they have that ability to, speak to you in a way that we don't understand, because where they reside, time doesn't exist. So their perception on everything is completely different. That's why I talked about cycles and time, and the fact that these are separate entities. One of them got to go, because this is the true nature of how things are supposed to work and how things flow, is cycles. Okay? So, yeah. Got any more questions? You know where to find me, and I will definitely answer them to the best of my abilities, because there's a lot to talk about, and I got a lot to say. Okay, has he said anything about angels and humans mating? Yes, he did. He was telling me about this, and when he was around at that time, this was like during the, say the Egyptian times, and they looked at how, everyone, the humans, lived, how they was able to fall in love and procreate, have children and all that stuff. They wanted that, but when everybody wanted to have their own reason for being who they are, just like they wanted to have their own way of thinking, they didn't want anyone to control anything, give them anything. It didn't happen, but they actually wanted that just as much as we did. Now there's stories that depict that, how they said that they made it with humans and had their babies. Like, say, Jesus, when they say that Jesus married Mary Magdalene. We're talking about Jesus here. Got with a human, married her. He had 2 sons who were kings. Okay? So that would mean, let me see, do you believe that they're going to unleash giants, aliens, and demons using CERN? No, they're not going to do that. Because they're not going to let anything happen that shouldn't be happening in the first place. And because of the fact that they don't really know what they're doing, it's not going to happen. They're going to make sure that it don't happen. It's just like when they protect us from harm. Like, say, if we're about to have an accident, and they intervene in that way to make sure that you stay alive, because there's obviously a purpose for you on this planet. They protect you to make sure that you don't end up, in a pine box or anything. But them unleashing, no, it's not like that. They're not going to, unleash anything like that on CERN. They're just going to make sure that it don't get out of hand. Because think about what I said. There is 1 or 2. Well, okay, you got one being of energy that is here to be a guardian angel. They have more than one person to look after, but there's a person like that for every human, even the people at CERN. So whoever is watching over them people are going to make sure they don't do anything that will put the smack down on humankind. But yeah, it's not going to happen. They're not going to do it in that way. Basically, they're just going to make sure that nothing happens. So I hope that sums it up for you. But yeah, they're not that. It's not like they can't. They probably have the ability, but they know to make sure things happen the way they're supposed to happen. They can't intervene in that way to cause something like that. Like, let me see. You see, maintaining, yeah, and it's all about maintaining the balance. Okay, there's a balance for everything that happens on this planet. Like what's going on with CERN. If balance goes out of hand, that means they would have to stop that one thing from creating that. That balance that gets out of hand. They want to make sure the balance stays the way it's supposed to be. Everything's supposed to happen the way it's supposed to happen. They don't want nothing to get out of hand. So there's, like I said, there's that balance. They're here to maintain balance, basically. So that would pretty much sum up everything about that. So yeah, it's not about um, punishing them like that. Like coming down on CERN with giants and all that stuff where they destroy everything. It's about creating a balance and making sure that nothing goes beyond what they are already doing. Because it may get to a level where they can't control it and it gets out of hand. Next thing you know, there's this huge black hole in the center of the planet that sucks it right into it, and next thing you know, we're gone. Not saying that would actually happen, but if that was the case, that would mean they had no control over it from the get-go. So, once again, there's that balance. There is a guardian angel for every human on this planet, but there are guardians who have more than one person to look after. So that person, that being, is going to make sure that nothing goes beyond what they are capable of doing, or what they think they're capable of doing. If they think they can solve the puzzle of the mystery of the universe and all that stuff by using CERN, but they know it's going to get out of hand, they just level it out. They make sure that whatever knowledge they have, it don't go beyond them being able to not control it. Maintaining the balance. Okay? Any more questions, people? Because I'm here. I'm here to answer it. And so is Gabriel. Okay? So. But anyway, yeah. So, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I have to cover that he wants me to talk about, because this is the time for the truth to come out. Okay? Why? Because there is... Let me see. What's this? Is he there with you now? Yes, he is. He is. He's here with me now. And I guess you could say, he gives me the information for me to tell you guys. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, he gives me the information I need to tell you guys, because he told me that the truth has to come out. But the truth, let me see. With CERN, the French and Swiss take one step forward and then 2 steps back. Yeah. Because like I said, they don't know what they're doing. If they knew what they were doing, they would just keep going and making these things happen. But this is very unstable energy. This is very unstable projects. When they're messing with things they're not supposed to be messing with. And let's just say they gave them that technology, or they back engineered it. And I'm pretty sure CERN had a lot to do with that. That's the reason why CERN is what it is, because they probably got information or some type of information about a technology from them. So they're doing all this stuff to help, do what they're doing. But yeah, he's here with me right now, and he makes sure that I get the information I need to tell you guys, because he knows the actual truth. And I am a truth seeker and a knowledge seeker. So, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, which is helping you guys learn the truth about everything that I be talking about, like the situation in national parks and urban areas, and now about reality itself. All of this is an illusion. Okay? This is a reality that's not even real. The real reality is right in front of our face, with everything I be talking about, with all these theories about these, people disappearing. The reality is things that happen on this planet that can't be explained. That's the reality. That's what's really going on this planet. So they create, the powers that be create a reality to keep us from, they want to call it freaking out, because they always say they don't want to cause a public panic if they tell the world about, UFOs or aliens being real. I'm like, we seen it with our own 2 eyes. I see UFOs all the time. I seen a portal open up above my house. Okay, in the sky. It was like a huge dark circle that was in the center of a dark blue sky. And I could tell, because I could see these lights shooting out from inside this round thing that was in the sky, this opening. And it was UFOs coming in and out of that thing like crazy. I was like, whoa. And I actually saw that. You see, there's a lot of weird stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff in the sky lately. I mean, I seen one night, I was actually outside just, enjoying nature. This was at nighttime. and I saw these lights that were flashing, and it made me think about that video that Tyler from Secure Team 10 had. These videos of these like fake planes that be flying in the sky that are actually UFOs. They disguise themselves as planes, and they actually catch it on camera of the plane blanking out or stopping dead in its tracks in midair while in flight, and then it starts moving. But I was looking up in the sky, and I saw what looked like lights from a plane, blinking in and out. But it wasn't making a sound, and it was, even no matter how low or how high it is, you're gonna hear the roar of the engines as it passes overhead. But not one sound it came from that, whatever that was, and I know for a fact it was UFO. Gabriel did tell me that that's what that was. It was UFO. Now there's also the fact where I hear the sound of a plane flying overhead, but there's no plane in sight. And I mean loud, like right over your head. When you look up, you don't see nothing. It could be a clear sky. And I know that always happens when you in there's clouds and you hear the plane flying overhead, but you can't see it because the clouds are in the way. But this was a clear day. This is during the day. I look up. I'm hearing the sound of a plane going over my head, but I didn't see no plane. I kept my head up there looking to see where. I'm looking around trying to see where it was coming from, but there was nothing. All I heard was the noise, and it was crazy. It just kept going and kept going. It would die down. It would pick back up and die down and pick back up, and then finally it stopped. And I mean, when I say stopped, I don't mean you heard it disappear off into the distance. No, it stopped. Like someone just flicked a switch and it just cut off. Very, very weird things happening in the sky, people. I even saw a UFO that was cloaked. Okay? It was a triangular UFO. Okay? Weird stuff. I was coming home from work and I saw this triangle just hanging in the sky upside down where the pointy part was at the bottom. And it was there, and I saw it blink in, it blinked in and it blinked out. And all of a sudden, it was gone. And then I saw a cloaked UFO over my house. Two of them, really. A disc that was massive. It was about the size of a football field. It was crazy. But yeah, guys, going into 72 minutes with this video. I've been talking a lot about the stuff that you need to hear. Shocking truth, and I have more coming after every video. I may even do a couple of live videos in the process of that. But let me see. Some UFOs can be holograms if the government can fool their own people. They think they can fool. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say that's entirely not true. Because I'm pretty sure that if they do, they got that technology from from the graves, because they have the technology to disguise their own crafts by making them look like planes. So that alone is the hologram itself. But there's a lot of technology they have that we don't. Let me see. What do you think about our government tampering and manipulating our weather using chemicals and heart? Oh. Well, with them, okay, let's see. With the weather, it's a technology that they don't know how to control, because that's just them wanting power, and it's just that simple. It's a technology that they have that they don't know what they're doing, because if you think about all these storms that has popped up over the years, like Katrina and all those other storms that hit in New York and New Orleans, all them places, it's just the technology that they're not supposed to be messing with, but they are. I'm not saying that our government ain't smart. They can't come up with this stuff, but they're coming up with this stuff for all the wrong reasons. Why would you want to create a machine that controls the weather? Why can't you just let this is what I was talking about with cycles and how things are controlled. They are controlling things so they can have us by the balls. Okay? They already control us with time. Now they're trying to control us with the weather. Okay, let's see. Power is the want need of every government, regardless to form or name. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly true. But yeah, I mean, with the whole harp thing, you know, it creates a lot of things. You know, sometimes I thought it was creating those loud booms too, because people start talking about the sounds of trumpets being played in the sky, but you can't see where the sound is coming from, and then you hear these people talking about loud booms and crashes that are coming out of nowhere in the sky. You know, a lot of times I thought that they were causing it, but those booms that you hear in the sky every once in a while in your town, those are actually portals that are opening up and closing. Bet you didn't think that could be possible, did you? But yeah, those loud booms that you hear, and if you heard that the booms were probably coming from, you know, the heart machine or whatever, those are portals opening up. But as far as the weather thing, it's basically, like I said, it's a technology that they're not supposed to be messing with, but they are. You know, so let me see. Especially recently. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I hear those a lot too. You know, yeah, because like I've heard them a lot when I first moved in my apartment after a storm. I heard them when I was in Hawaii. And if you go to my playlist and look up strange sounds in the sky over Oahu, you could hear this crashing noise. It was just happening back to back to back. And I'm thinking at first it was thunder. But in order for you to hear thunder, you got to see lightning as well. And it wasn't raining. It wasn't cloudy. It was just clear night. You know, and it wasn't fireworks, you know, coming from the Disney resort that was across the way from where I was. You know, still, none of that. But I kept hearing these loud crashes. And the noise was coming out of nowhere. So a lot of strange things happen in places like Hawaii too. So that alone, hearing those loud booms and crashes, that was a portal opening and closing. The crazy part is we can't see it when it does that. Now, if it opens up inside of a cloud, that's one thing, because I've seen videos of a cloud, a circle, like a swirling cloud, and then something comes out of it. Not saying that it's real, not saying that it's fake, but that's what I saw. You know, so yeah, but there's a lot of strange things going on in the skies nowadays. I mean, like I said, I be seeing UFOs. I be seeing all kinds of stuff. Like just real strange stuff. You know, like I said, these fake planes that are posing as planes, but they're really not. And then you got these loud booms. You're seeing UFOs. As a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, well, maybe a couple of months ago, I was looking up into the sky. This was like right before dark. So this was dusk. And I just happened to look up. I kept seeing something moving. It was a bright light. I'm thinking it was a star. At first, I didn't really focus on the fact that it was moving. And then all of a sudden, I saw something out the corner of my eye, and I looked up again. And it was moving, literally. And then it curved up and went through the atmosphere and disappeared. Okay? Strange things that are happening in the sky, people. Okay? You know, I mean, people see UFOs all the time, but they can't explain what it is. So they be like, okay, maybe that was a shooting star. But, you know, you do know shooting stars are actually meteors, right? I mean, there's no such thing as a shooting star. There's no such thing as a star either. Giver of life. That's what that is. Anyway, but yeah, so that's the thing about that. Okay, so yeah, y'all got any more questions? You know, like I said, I'll try to answer them the best I can. You know, Gabriel will make sure that I select the right words to say so that you can understand. So anytime you're ready, because you're getting down to the hour, it's like 78 minutes right now. So I'm gonna answer. Let me see. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You know, that's what I'm here for. You know, I want to do more than just create videos. I want to do the live chat. That way you people can get a good idea of what's going on and get the actual truth, not theories. I want you to know the actual truth. But like I said, all this stuff will come in stages because y'all ain't ready for that yet. Most of it. I did this. I told you who I was getting this information from because I don't want to lie to nobody. And people, when they talk about stuff like this, they tend to be people that aren't believed in because it's taking them out of their comfort zone, so they think they're a bunch of crackpots. But, you know, I am a person of truth and no lies. Okay, everything I tell you is going to be the complete truth, no matter how strange it may seem. I bet you didn't know that a person can actually talk to their guardian angel. Have conversations with them. And think about it. At one point, when you're having a conversation with yourself, or you think you are, that voice that you actually having a conversation with is not you, or your mind pretending that you're talking to somebody. That is your guardian angel speaking to you. Okay? Just remember that. Whenever you feel like, you want to talk to somebody, people always say they're talking to themselves, they're hearing voices. That's because they don't really know who they're talking to. Because it could be anything. It could be something negative. It could be something positive, like your guardian angel trying to talk to you. And if he is telling you right from wrong, or saying, like, let's just say you have a situation where you're in the grocery store, you're trying to pick something that you really, really want, but this voice says, no, you better get that. That's, healthier. But then you still want that. And you ignore what that just said. Let me see what we got here. If your heart and mind are pure, and one God, an open God will speak, and you will, yeah. Well, yeah, because, see, the Creator created people like Gabriel and Peter and any other guardian angel to be his messengers for us. And for me, the message coming from the Creator to be given to me by my guardian angel and by Gabriel, who is also a guardian angel but not mine, that's part of the whole deal. Okay, that's part of that connection with the Creator. We are all connected to that one energy. Okay, we all are. It ain't just me, it's everybody. Everybody can receive this kind of information if you open up your mind and your heart. This is what I want you to do. When we end this video, I want you to take the time to just get into a quiet place and say in your mind, I would like to see my guardian angel. And I want to know your name. Whether it be a male or female, it doesn't matter. Now, trust that very first voice in your head. Don't deny it. Don't discredit it. Don't say, okay, that's just my imagination. Don't say that. Always trust the first voice that you hear in your head. That is them. Now, if it sounds like a female, your guardian is a female. If it sounds like a male, your guardian is a male. And listen out for the name. It may be a name that you've never even heard of, or it could be a name that you have heard of. Because like I said, my guardian's name is Peter, and his name is Gabriel. Okay? So there are some guardians out there that have names that you probably won't even be able to pronounce. But if you hear a name, any name, I don't care if it's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Let me see. The only way we can be pure is through God. If left up to us, we can end up. Yeah. Well, that's not entirely true, because your guardian is a direct link to the Creator. The Creator created them to be messengers to us. So when you have that connection with your guardian, and he's telling you to don't do this, do that, you're having that connection. Because let's just say the Creator is the radio, and Gabriel and Peter and them, all the others are the speakers. He's telling you what he needs to know, and you're hearing it through them. Okay, so you already have that connection. It doesn't really matter. You have that connection. You always have that connection. It just depends on who is willing to open their mind to literally have that ultimate connection with your guardian. It starts with that first. I mean, you have your connections with the Creator, but you also have your connection with your guardian. Now, most people would say, okay, well, yeah, my guardian angel saved my life. But then you don't realize after all that you can actually talk to him. You may say, thank you, guardian. But you don't even know your guardian angel's name. You probably never even seen him. You just know that a guardian angel exists. But if you can talk to your guardian angel and get information from them, just like I do. Let me see. Like when you get the feeling you shouldn't do something or go somewhere, but you don't know. Yeah. Yeah. You see, mean without guardians. Oh, you mean without guardians. But yeah, it's just like when you, like, say, I remember when I was driving somewhere, me and my mom went to a restaurant. And there was two ways I could get out of that parking lot. The first words that came into my head were for me to go around the back and come out on the side to where I can still get on that road. But I didn't listen. I went that way, the other way, and I had to go all the way down the street, make a U-turn just to go back in the other direction. Now, that other road that I could have got on had a stop like this. So all I had to do was wait for the light to turn green and make that left to get back on the main road to get back to my mother's house and drop her off. That would have been an easier and faster way to get on that road. But I had to go all the way out on the other end, go all the way down, make a U-turn, and come all the way back. That's unnecessary driving. But when I realized that after the fact, that I just, not so much that I ignored it, but I made a choice of my own. Because there's still that part of you that wants to have that free will enough to make your own decisions. But they do that so that you can make the right decision. They can give you information, but they can't intervene in your choices. They can intervene in a dramatic moment, like an accident, if you're about to have one. If you're meant to be alive, they'll make sure that you stay alive. That's their job. They're going to make sure you stay alive because you have something to do on this planet. Okay? But in that case, like I said, they tell you what you need to know. And you have to listen. You really do. Even if it's something that you don't want to do, you got to realize it's the right thing to do, because that is your guardian angel speaking to you through mental telepathy, which, by the way, is the ultimate way of speaking. That's a universal way of speaking to each other, using our minds instead of a telephone with a bunch of apps on it. All that stuff is irrelevant to this type of communication. Mental telepathy. So if you're hearing a voice in your head, you're thinking you're crazy, but you're not. You're actually hearing your guardian angel speaking to you. Because if you pay attention to what they're saying, they're not saying anything crazy, saying, I want you to kill 2 people. You know? I mean, some people say that's what they do. They heard this voice in their head. You know, so that could be a negative energy that is getting inside your head. But when you realize that it's your guardian, you just know. Okay? So a lot of people, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to start asking that question. How do you know that's not a demon or whatever? You just know. It's a feeling you get. Okay? You know, you'll know. It's just, you just got to pay attention to it. You know, when you second guess what you're feeling, you say, nah, this don't feel right. You know, that's only because you don't understand it. You didn't realize that you can talk to your guardian angel. So when you're hearing these voices, you're like, okay, what the heck? Oh, yeah, that's my imagination. I ain't worried about that. You know, you don't think about it. But you got to just realize that that's what that is. And like I said before, you're only as intelligent as the knowledge received. If you don't have the knowledge, you're not intelligent enough to understand it. And I don't mean that to belittle anyone, but that's just the way it is. That's the way the cycle runs. You have to learn about these things in order to understand what's going on. But you have to have a certain belief in order to do all that. I'm just saying. So, without further ado, I'm getting off of this channel. I had a very good time chatting with you people, all my fans and everything, and all the questions that I tried my best to answer. And I hope I answered some other questions that you may have been trying to ask but didn't get a chance to. Okay. And good night, my friend. I will see you later. Keep a lookout for my videos, because I got more coming. Good night. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get off of here, and I'll have another one up tomorrow. Hopefully, I gotta see what I gotta talk about. You know, as far as a case, I got a good idea, but I'm gonna look into it some more, and I'll post it. And I will have another quote for you guys, and some deep thought at the very end. So, you know what to do. All right, guys. Aloha. I had a very good time talking to you guys. Aloha, mahalo, and ahuiho. Peace out, brothers and wahinis.